my kind of place, this.
Calm in the air, officer.
This ladder can take us to new heights.
I can't wait to see what the day holds. There's got to be a way to earn more coin than this.
I ought to turn in for the night.
Gather round, gather round. Treat your ears to a tail bite.
I apologize for burdening you with my failings, Arisen.
You can count on me to fly to your aid in your hour of need, Master. Knowing when to use curatives is my specialty. If we share our strengths, we can begin. I'll carefully conserve my strength and endeavor. Should you have further need of a marksman, my...
You are wise indeed to have sought my aid. 'Tis a pleasure to meet you. Shall we discuss tactics now or later? Does Sir Lubomir know of this basement sick room, I wonder? Mayhap we ought to ask him about it. If you would be so kind as to follow me, I shall take you to the one you seek.
You have our gratitude. Lead the way.
It's got to be in the thick of things, mate.
Feel eyes on my back, watching me.
Pray, follow me. We've arrived, just as planned.
So, the worst of us are taken to the basement. Mayhap that's the source of the queer voices I hear at night. And none save the abbess can enter? If the gracious hand has a secret, 'tis the abbess who keeps it, I reckon. You've done this much for me. Would you be willing to go further? I must find out what goes on down there. Ah, you've my thanks. I just can't stomach the thought of lying here not knowing. Of course, all the better should your search come to naught. But if you do find aught amiss down in that basement, it must be the abbess's doing. Should you find evidence fit to implicate her, will you help me see to it that justice is carried out? See, I've already reported my suspicions to the sentinels, and we've arranged a signal. If you apprehend the abbess, they'll know to come and arrest her. So I beg you, sir, find the evidence you need, if it exists to be found.
To get to the bottom of what is happening at the Gracious Hand, we shall have to acquire evidence of any misdeeds.
Right you are.
Here we are.
I know not why, but the words basement sick room set my hair on end. Shall we investigate?
Splendid.
Where's my comb? My fur's in a right state.
Places such as this ought to be protected.
I do hope naught befalls Lubomir. I should like to see him walk out of here in good health.
Chaos in the world begins with chaos of the mind.
Marriage isn't what it's chalked up to be. Some years have been nice, but weren't so costly.
Must we beg for guidance? Can't we make our own?
I end up feeling weary even after a Say, I've noticed you walking around questioning people. Looking for information, are we? If I were you, I'd pay a visit to the jail next, if you haven't already. The place is full of unsavory characters, as one might expect, who've seen things ordinary citizens aren't privy to. I should know. I was among their company till just recently.
Ingredients are plentiful hereabouts.
Shall we see if... There's ought to be found while we're here.
Let me think on this.
I'm quite sure I wasn't dreaming, but ox carts don't run so late at night. Was it a phantom then? I shudder to think.
If I sleep on my word,
Is it too much to hope for a helping hand?
Mayhap you will think this as we shall remain here.
I've made my bed. Now to lie in it. What's your problem? Leave off. What am I supposed to do? I'm dead tired.
always a fresh breeze blowing round here.
I must be vigilant. The townspeople depend on me.
As soon as my shift's done, I'm off to the tavern.
Well, have you found some place I might sate my scholarly curiosities? Oh, to think such a place existed. How very curious. Guide me outside, then. If you can deliver me from this pit, I ought to be able to find the rest of the way on my own.
Been acting up of late.
I'd hasten home, were this not my duty.
I should very much like to rejoin you, Master.
Aye, this should be far enough. If you truly are arisen, then I swear to someday repay this debt I owe. Words may be wind, but there's naught else I can offer you at present. Pray visit me if you've the time or inclination. Mayhap the knowledge I've gained reading tomes of Eld could be of some use to you.
Huzzah! We must inform Captain Brant at once.
Nodding off where I stand.
Just grateful I get to lead a quiet life.
Time was, you scarce saw any beastrons here in Vernworth, but that's changed in recent years. You'd think that'd be on account of immigration, but not so. At least I've ne'er beheld a human with a beast. If we keep mixing, someday
Not at the expense of my duty.
Have you business in Batal? Then you, good sir, will require an entry permit. Don't go thinking you can slip through the border checkpoint without one. Too many scoundrels are trying that of late. Trade twixt our nations may be on the upswing, but passage of regular civilians is still closely monitored. So, should you seek entry in future, I bid you take the proper channels.
This way, if you please.
I'm nodding off where I stand. Look, as long as you
The person we seek isn't here. Perhaps we'd best come back later?
Welcome to... We serve all manner of fine ales here. Shall I pour you? Come back any time.
Ah, there we are.
There is much we ought to tend to, if we are to strengthen your Majesty's claim as a true arisen. It seems Magistrate Wardor has been safely delivered from his cell. The man's dedication to justice shall doubtless be a great boon to our cause. Mayhap 'twould be prudent to visit the man on occasion and avail yourself of his vast stores of wisdom. He might have knowledge that could benefit you on your travels. Now, would you be so kind as to return the key I lent you? You do not possess it. I see. I had hoped you would return it to me ere long. If you've deposited it somewhere, Might I trouble you to retrieve it and bring it back to me? Else, if you've lost it, mayhap it's been put up for sale at the scrap store. 'Tis a curious shop, where all manner of useless trinkets may be found. The townspeople sell aught they find there. Is there aught else you would speak of, Your Majesty? I bear word from Regent Ken Sven, Your Majesty. He espied the delivery of a suspicious package to a minister who happens to be one of the Queen Regent's staunchest and most powerful allies in the palace. From the pains he took to remain on scene, 'tis plain that Allard wished this delivery kept away from prying eyes. That alone is reason to suspect a connection to Deeza's schemes. We must get to the bottom of it. The Regent Kin intends to call Allard to his chambers come nightfall. He bids you to use this opportunity to search the minister's chambers and see if there's aught to be learned. What say you, Your Majesty? I shall ensure that the door to the minister's chambers is open between midnight and dawn. Pray, use that time to infiltrate and uncover aught worthy of suspicion.
There is only one acceptable outcome. Complete and utter success.
'Twould seem we've a need to visit the palace.
Onward to Vernworth Castle. Let us make for the palace, that you might... investigate Minister Allard's chambers. Though I cannot enter the palace myself, I will at least escort you to the entrance.
The guide is most welcome. Now we shan't lose our way. We must rest, though the sun is still up. I return safe and sound, and I dare say, wiser for my travels. Open your eyes, everyone. 'Tis dark out, but our day begins.
Step lively. Journey by starlight shall make for a nice change of pace.
A new day, a new perspective.
Onward to Burnworth Castle. Let us make for the palace, that you might investigate Minister Allard's chambers. Though I cannot enter the palace myself, I will at least escort you to the entrance.
A guide is most welcome. Now we shan't lose our way.
Eager as I am to explore the castle with you, I fear my kind are not welcome within, but I shall see you to the entrance. Over here! Here already, are we? I would appreciate your...
You are the Arisen, yes? The captain gave me your description. Follow me!
I'll take the night watch of this.
I'll make a living if I get myself injured.
Follow me! 'Tis best you move along. Should one of the other guards espy you, I will be forced to play my part. Pray, be cautious, Your Majesty.
Preparation is key. I up my training regime.
Such peace.
Whoever's my replacement's in for a boot up the arse.
What to do about combat training?
All this quiet makes me itch. I only pray my watch finishes without incident.
Still waiting on that report.
Money can buy
I wish the minister would be more careful. He takes the sentinel posted outside his chambers with him everywhere. There are times when no one's standing.
I must try to effect a change. Hubris is man's worst enemy.
What business could be so pressing that I must be summoned at this late hour?
I would not presume to know, my lord. However, it must be a highly sensitive matter for the Regent Kin to request a private audience.
Oh, perhaps the boy has finally grown wise to the benefits my favor can bring. He might just be his mother's puppet, but at least he knows what's good for him.
My lord, if someone were to overhear...
Oh, unwring your hands, you fool! As if anyone in this palace would dare say a word against me. Now, if Wilhelmina calls, tell her to await me in my chambers. I will return presently.
Surely none more important than this. I speak of the ascension of the Sovereign.
Indeed. But that, Your Grace, would be better discussed in the presence of your mother.
What is true peace, I wonder? I'm in fine fettle today.
Well, well. Yours isn't a face I'm accustomed to seeing around the palace. How did you get in here?
goes there? Who's there?
Tut, tut. Now, this just won't do. How's a lady supposed to work with all these interruptions?
Oh, 'tis you, Lady Wilhelmina.
Mm-hmm. Do excuse us. We thought to enjoy a little fresh air. Though we had hoped for slightly more privacy, if you catch my meaning.
Apologies, my lady. But might I ask the name of your companion?
Are you sure it would be wise? Such knowledge has been known to cost a man his head.
Understood, my lady. If anyone asks, I shall say I saw naught.
A narrow escape. You should count yourself lucky that he was so easily flustered. I don't appreciate having my motives questioned. I did as I saw fit. Need I say more? Still, you are welcome to come calling, should the fancy take you, and should you have the gold for it. Off you go now. If you wish to speak further, 'twill have to wait. This is neither the time nor the place for it.
Couldn't hurt to put my feet up a moment. Couldn't hurt to put my feet up a moment.
This place is awful dull. Can't complain, mind. How are we to find such a
Can't afford to retire at my age.
This sort of quiet means all's well.
Wonder if anyone wants to stay with us.
Tis a dreary life. Oh, got to keep moving. I could see myself having a
It seems you've made a discovery regarding the false sovereign.
I'm just grateful I get to live my life.
There are useful ingredients to be gathered here, I'll wager.
No harm in picking a few.
If we've the item in hand, we ought not keep the recipient waiting.
We need only pass our burden into the hands that await it.
I knew it to be so. First things first, we must speak with Captain Brandt. Follow me, Master, if you would. I'll bring you to the one you seek.
Won't someone do aught about this?
It is a ladder. Shall we see where it leads?
We ought to put it to good use.
Our road was a long one, but here we are at last.
There is much we ought to tend to, if we are to strengthen your Majesty's claim as a true Arisen. I know this sigil well. 'Tis the crest of the neighboring country of Batal, a land with which Vermin has no official dealings at present. Let me see. It reads, "True to our word, we offer you the power of the Godsway. Pray make haste in securing Melv, that all might be made ready ere our plans are set in motion." A meager clue, to be certain. Though, 'tis clear that the Queen Regent conspires with Batal. This does not bode well at all. Though the political situation is stable at present, much blood has been spilled between Vermund and its neighbor in the past. I fear such a partnership would only portend the drawing of more. At any rate, 'twould seem our search has led us to only more questions. Chief among them, what is meant by securing Melv and this Godsway? I will investigate these matters as best I can. In the interim, Your Majesty, should you have time to spare, might you make for Melv? Only once we have gleaned a fragment of the Queen Regent's plot can we begin to thwart it. And ere it slips my mind, pray, take this. Perchance it will help speed you on your way to Melv.
Phasus. Now there's a name to remember. First things first, we must speak with Captain Brandt. Good. We're here.
Methinks I've an idea of where Sir Ulrika might have gone, Master. Follow me, Master. I shall guide you to the location.
You have our gratitude. Lead the way.
Suppose I could visit someplace new.
Our soldiers need better training.
Suppose I will check the wheel. I'm nodding off where I stand.
I'm not taking any passengers just now, sir. Apologies, but I can't offer you a ride. What's this now? Apologies, but I can't offer you a ride, sir.